Welcome to the Side Hustle to Small Business podcast powered by Hiscox. I'm your host, Sanjay Parekh. Throughout my career, I've had side hustles, some of which have turned into real businesses. But first and foremost, I'm a serial technology entrepreneur. In the creator space, we hear plenty of advice on how to hustle harder and why you can sleep when you're dead. On this show, we ask new questions in hopes of getting new answers. Questions like, how can small businesses work smarter? How do you achieve balance between work and family? How can we redefine success in our businesses so that we don't burn out after year 3? Every week, I sit down with business founders at various stages of their side hustle to small business journey. These entrepreneurs are pushing the envelope while keeping their values. Keep listening for conversation, context, and camaraderie. Today's guest is Kat Lepetit, the founder of Sundrunk, a brand aspiring to create beach products that promote peace of mind and ease of use, such as Turkish towels, UPF shirts, and other beach accessories. Kat, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to have you on because I think this is just such a fun category of stuff that you're building. But before we start talking about the business and the products, give us a little bit about your background and what got you to where you are today.
Okay, so I've been cosmetic veteran. I've been working in the cosmetic industry for 25 plus years. Started in France because based on my accent, clearly I'm French. Moved to the US 15 years ago for an opportunity for LVMH, the Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy group, and then moved my way up from there. And then COVID happened. You know, you had to homeschool 3 kids, and I started doing business consulting. And then we moved to Florida, beautiful beaches, and I just got inspired to create my own thing. So here it is. Sundrunk was born on the beach of Florida.
I love it. So is this the first time you've done anything entrepreneurial?
Yes, completely. And it was not easy. Actually, I really wanted to go back to a learner's mind, like really starting from scratch. Because when you're like a top executive, all you do is just give orders to a bunch of people. I had 50 plus people in my team, millions of dollars to play with. It's just so different, you know, and I wanted to start from scratch, from zero, and do it on my own and learn. So much to learn. Like half my team, I knew what to tell them on top line, but I have no idea how to execute all that. So I just wanted to start back up. And it's every day I pinch myself. I'm like, this is amazing. I just love it. I love the whole process. The fall, the backup, the learning, the backup. It's great. It's great. Not a dull moment.
Are there any other entrepreneurs in the family? Anybody that you saw as you were growing up or anything else like that?
I know my dad has that in his blood. He always wanted to, but my whole family is in the French Navy. So no one really created their own business. My dad now is 70 and he's trying to do on the side, so it's funny. But he always put that in my mind, saying he always wanted to. He had it at one point. He had a store. Like, he's a motorcycle fanatic, and now he's doing it at 70-year-old. Like, it's so funny. He always wanted to, and I think I know it's in my blood. And people who know me from the industry are like, of course you had to, because I am that type of person. Like, I have can-do attitude, and I'm gonna make it work. And there's no other way. I will make it work.
Yeah, well, maybe hopefully through this experience, you can give your dad the advice instead of it going the other way, since he's coming after you.
We exchange a lot, but yeah, it's a very different world.
Yeah. So I've got to ask, it's such a different thing to be a top executive, you know, and having these big teams and everything else like that. Like, what drove you? You said you wanted to learn and all that stuff, but I mean, there's got to be something else that makes somebody want to do that, because I think we see a lot of top executives and they're not able to make that leap, right? So What is it that's different with you that makes you able to take that leap?
It's a very, very, very powerful question because so many times I started and so many times I was like, what's the point? What am I doing? Because as you know, it's a startup. So my whole paycheck from the last 3 years got completely into it. And every month I don't get a salary. Like, I'm just putting everything, my blood, tears and sweat and money into it. But there is something to be said about it's in you or it's not in you. And I think I'm continuing. We're going to celebrate our 2 years next week, actually. And you just continue because you know it's part of you. And I think also, COVID hit and you have a lot of profound question. I hit my 40s at that time, like, the middle life crisis of like, what am I doing? Is it all that is 20 years in the cosmetic industry doing the same thing over and over and over? And I'm doing it well. I'm doing really good. But it was kind of boring. And I didn't see life being like this for another 20 years. So here it is.
Yeah. So how did you come up with this idea? How did you start the business?
So when I moved to Florida, I was still a business consultant, helping other brands to grow. And that's my favorite part, is to make small company grow. And then I moved to Florida, and I kind of I know it's going to be super woo-woo. Hang tight. I just kind of asked the universe, I was ready for my own challenge. And I was asking the universe, just give me something and I will run with it. But I need an idea. I need a start. I need a spark. Just give me that spark. And I kind of repeated that multiple times, and I wrote down on a piece of paper. And I'm inspired by, Sarah Beckley, the Spanx lady. I love her so much. And she kind of had the same story, but I got inspired by all those people who said, just put it out, write it down. What do you want? What do you really want? And I wrote down my life in 5 years from now. What would I like to do? Travel and be my own boss and hire the best people I love to work with, not politics thing, and so I wrote down a long list of things, and it really didn't happen overnight, but I would say a year later, continue to think about it. And a year later, it came to me after a long day at the beach, because we spent a lot of time at the beach here. I came home and I looked at my husband. I was like, I feel sun drunk. And, I'm French, so I just put those two words together, because for me, it was really a feeling. I felt sun drunk. And for me, it was, I'm exhausted, but I'm so happy. My happiness tank is full, but I'm exhausted. I'm woozy. I'm a little feeling drunk, the same symptom. And then I went to bed and I woke up the day after with a full download. I knew exactly what I was going to do. It was bizarre. I told my husband, I was like, I need to go on trademark. And I went on trademark and it was not taken. I trademarked it right away. And I knew exactly what I was to do. And I spent the whole week doing a PowerPoint of my strategy, my product, everything. Everything came.
Yeah. Did anything make you nervous in taking that leap and starting your own business? I mean, this is the first time doing it.
Yeah.
An executive, everybody else does all that stuff and manages all those things. Was there something that made you nervous about doing this?
No, because I knew it was it. It was the spark I was asking the universe for a year. I was like, oh my God, it felt so right and so easy. Everything was flowing. It was just so cool. Now, if you ask me a year later, I was panicking a year later. I was like, how am I going to do this? Because it's so many challenges. You have to, every day is a struggle, there's something happening every day. And it's, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, what's the point? What am I doing? Because it's so much money and struggle. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, I did it. It's great. Let's do another day.
Yeah. So we now know where the name came from, but that's the name, not the idea. How did you come up with the idea of what you wanted to make?
So yeah, I woke up that morning and I said, oh my God, I love that name. I'm going to trademark the name. And then I told my husband, I'm obsessed with the beach. I've always been obsessed with the beach. I cannot leave out far from the beach. I have to be 20 minutes max. And I know that because I'm from south of France, the French Riviera. I was born and raised on the beach. And then we moved to Paris for work when I was 25 or something. And I never been that depressed my whole life. I hated it so much. And when we moved to San Francisco and I had the beach close by, even though I couldn't put a toe in that water because the water is freezing cold, just to see the ocean, the water, just to put a towel down and just relaxing near the beach, something is appeasing to me. And so it was just obvious that I had to fix all the problems I have when I go to the beach. As a mom of 3, what are my problems? And God knows I have ton of problems. First of all, I've been in the cosmetic industry for 20 plus years. So I know the struggle to find the right skincare. So I started there, obviously, because I know. And then I was like, okay, those towels were five towels. I don't know if you tried that traditional towels. And I like the big ones because of my body. I'm a 5'8", so I need a big one to cover my whole body. And so those towels are so heavy. And then they take the sand and they're even more heavy. And they dry, they take 2 hours to dry. It's just, there's so many nightmares. So I started researching. And I also have the sustainable mindset. Like, this is super important to me. And it's been in my DNA since my Bora Bora trip, so more than 10 years now. I cannot add more plastic to this world. I'm trying to reduce the plastic as much as I can. So how can I find towels that are sustainable made and no plastic around it? So, those microfiber towels are super hip and high and whatever. They're terrible. It's just plastic. You put back plastic in the ocean. So Anyway, I did my research and the Turkish towels are the best. So that's how I came up with that. And then UPF shirts, the best because they protect you better than sunscreen. You don't have missing spots. And they're super cute and you can wear them all day in the water. It's just life-changing. So I'm starting to change the whole beach experience. It's great.
Well, let's talk about the design because that's often the thing that makes things stand out. From yet another product. And I was looking through your products. The design is great. There's interesting design of a lot of them. Like, how did you think about that process? Is it you as the designer? Do you have designers? Like, how did you figure out how to make that happen?
I wish I was a designer. I wish I was so creative. This is actually my tough spot. Like, I have so many cool ideas that I'm not able to put them on paper. I don't know how to do that, and I'm not a designer. But when I started, and I didn't know where to start from zero, as I said, I was just already at the top usually, so I just was going to make the brands go bigger and bigger, but I didn't know where to start. And the way I started, it's going to surprise a lot of people, but I did fresh markets. I went on Sundays, every Sunday, selling my towels on the market. And my sunscreen and all that. And that's where I found that girl. I just looked at the booth next door and I was like, oh my God, I love what she does. Like how she represents animals, like sea animals was just so pretty. And I went to her and I say, hey, would you like to do my towels, my designs? And she's like, yeah, why not? So we partnered and she's so awesome and she's local from St. Pete. So it's great. I love her. Yeah.
So is she still the designer you work with now?
She's my designer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Let's talk about the products themselves. So you've mentioned towels, you've mentioned shirts. Obviously you're not, making those at home. How did you figure out and find somebody to make all of this stuff for you and get the exact right thing? Because it sounds like you've got these requirements, right? Like, no plastic and, sustainable and all these things. And, that starts winnowing down very much who could possibly make it.
I know. And I've been really tough on them. So well, that's because of my experience. I'm like super tough on people. But I think they know it comes from a good place. And I love transparency and honesty. So I always tell them, like, just push back on me. When it's crazy, just push back and we'll have a negotiation. But it's hard. Sourcing is not easy, especially because I never done that before. I was not in product innovation. I always were part of the meeting, the top meeting of like what would work, what's the audience wants, because I was in store all the time. So I knew what the client wants. So I could direct that, but sourcing, never done that. So I just Google was my best friend until ChatGPT. And then I reach out. It takes hours to find the right people. And then, it always happens, like we say. You try one and then it doesn't work, or they're late, or they last minute they increase your price. Like there's so many little hurdles when you do sourcing. So I learn still to this day. I still learn and I try to find new people.
Okay, so you have folks that make it right now, but you're always looking for new suppliers as well.
Looking for new suppliers because we never know. And I did all my eggs in one basket, and I'm a little scared. It happened to me for my sunscreen, and now I'm trying to find someone else. So it's not easy.
Yeah, that's obviously a tough thing to deal with because you don't control
You don't control,
that part of the
especially when
chain,
it's
right?
startup mode and you're like small run. They're looking at you like, "Pfft, we're doing 100,000 for someone no one knows on TikTok." So 9,000 next to that is like ridiculous.
Right,
Zero
right,
power
yeah,
of negotiation. It's not easy.
yeah. How do you deal with then like the rest of the chain, like fulfillment and all of those kinds of things? Because I'm presuming you're not doing it out of the house. Maybe you
I
are.
am. I'm
You
actually
are doing it out of the house.
out of the
Okay.
house. It's been only 2 years, and I'm about to expand. I'm about to open my own boutique next month. So then I will have all my stock there, and I will have my employees doing that. So that's going to be life changing. Because so far, yes, it's in my house. I have a little bit of everything everywhere in my 3 kids' bedroom. They all have their different things. One has the towel, one has the sunscreen, one has the shirt, and the garage is full too. So that's great.
Of course, that this is normal startup life, I think. So, let's talk about your kind of audience and community. This is a product that is, and your series of products, right? It's really only useful for a certain part of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a
In
year round thing. In Florida, maybe a little bit more than in other places. But how do you think about that, and how do you connect and build a community and build that audience, especially in the times when people are not thinking about the beach yet? They might be dreaming about the beach, but they're not thinking about the beach yet.
So it's going to surprise you. My best season is January to April.
Huh. So people are getting ready for the beach. Is that what it
It's
is?
more tricky than that. As I said, I do a lot of events, in live events, where I'm in person selling with people and my employees. And in Florida, you have all the snowbirds coming from January to April. So I touch everybody from Wisconsin to Nebraska to Minnesota to Canada I touch everybody. And then those people are so excited when they talk to me, and I connect. Like there's something about me. I love connecting with people, and networking is my thing. I love people. I love to chat. I love everything. And so they connect, and then they talk to their friends, and their friend comes, and it just bloop, spread out. It's awesome. So yeah, my big season is January to April. And then now it's a great season for Amazon is doing really well. My DTC is doing well. Like I ship anywhere in the US, so it's doing great now online. But offline is my biggest months or the first quarter.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So then how do you think about like cash flow and revenue and things like that seasonality that's happening, especially on the offline, right? So you've got this heavy first quarter, and then the rest of the year is maybe not as much, even if it's getting filled in a little bit with the online. Like, how do you think about that in terms of managing the business?
So I organize myself like I used to do in the big companies, meaning I have a master calendar, and I try to plan the year of like, how can I get my business going in the months where it's supposed to be slow. So that's where I go after wholesaling. I go after expos and shows, and so it just balances out. I wouldn't say I have a terrible month yet. In 2 years, I've been growing so much that I can't really say that. I would say maybe October, but based on my whole experience the last 25 years, October is pretty month for everybody, so it's good. But yeah, no, it's okay. It's balanced. It balances it out. Also, I'm still doing some consulting on the side so I can pay for cash flow.
I see. Okay. So still doing the side hustle of consulting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what an entrepreneur does, right?
Yeah. 100%. Maybe you need like Halloween themed towels or something to make October be better. Maybe that's.
I'm doing a black collection. I'm not like, I used to wear black for 20 plus years, and I love black. It's very nice for women and blonde and whatever, but Sundrunk is everything but black and white. So I'm going to do a collection just for Halloween with black shirts and black stuff. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And I think you might fix your October problem right there then.
Exactly.
By doing that. So,
See? Already thought about that.
Well, let's talk about giving back. It looked like, you're like very focused on giving back and being a part of the community and giving back as part of the brand. Talk to me a little bit about that, why that is and how it is that you execute upon that.
So as I said, comes back from a trip we had in Bora Bora with my husband. Bora Bora, where it is, it's like in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
Like there's nothing millions of miles away. There's nothing. And that morning we were going on the tiny beach of that tiny island, private beach. And it was full of plastic, but full of plastic. Like a garbage truck just came and put tons of plastic everywhere. So I started to just pick up a plastic in the water and started pulling everything I could in the plastic bag. And I went to the restaurant of that beach and I was like, this is unacceptable. You guys, it's a private beach. Like, how come you don't clean up? I thought they'd never cleaned up. And they were like, thank you so much for doing that, because we're doing that 3 times a day. And that, it hit me.
Yeah.
I was like, where are we going with this planet?
Yeah.
Like,
so this is, I'm assuming, trash that's coming in off the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
It's the whole restaurant. It's the island of Tahaha. If you want to go, it's just gorgeous. And there's only one hotel and one restaurant, and it's all sustainable, all in wood. It's just gorgeous. And they're super sustainable. There's no way they can do that trash. So it was really heartbreaking for me. And when I came back, I was working at Sephora at that time. And I told Sephora, I was like, we have to be better than that. Like, not possible. So a lot of sustainable action were put in place at Sephora in that era at that time. So that was great, but not enough. So I decided when I created Sundrink, it was like, obviously it will be part of it, obviously. And I know I'm not making money because of that, and it's fine. It's my contribution to this planet, and it is what it is. And I hope people who buy my brand understand that they're contributing as well, and it's great. But yeah, I decided to focus on local because I know where my money goes, because I'm doing those beach cleaning with them, and I'm there, I see what they're doing, and I know exactly where my money goes. So that's great. For now, I'm focusing on local.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Okay. Let's change gears a little bit and talk about the stress of all of this, right? Like, this is something that entrepreneurs always deal with, right? You've got a side hustle, the consulting, the full-time, the business, family, friends, whatever it is, all those other things. How do you manage the stress for yourself and make yourself not go crazy? Maybe it's just by getting on the beach every day because you're like, oh, this is a part of work. But maybe there's other strategies you've got.
Very good question. It's kind of my jam. Like, since COVID, I really poured myself into, growth mindset and how to take care of myself. And I'm sure a lot of people went through that, I hope, because it was life-changing for me. I really adopt so many tools now that I use every day. Doesn't mean that I'm not stressed, and sometimes I'm not like burning out, and I'm not like screaming or crying. It happens to the best of us. But you're right, the beach is my sanity. So 3 times a week, we'll walk that beach, and I pick up all the trash at the same time. So that's amazing for the mind. Really relaxes me, and also remind me, like, I'm just selling towels and UPF shirts and sunscreen. It's fine. The world is still turning. It's all good. But if I don't take that moment, yeah, I can go crazy, like everybody. I have to force myself to take that moment.
For a second there, I thought you were about to say 3 times a day. And I was like, how are you getting work done?
I wish
going out to the beach 3 times a day. Wow.
I wish. It will come to that. Sanjay, mark my word, it will come to that.
I would love that for myself too. I wouldn't mind walking on the beach 3 times a day. That'd be fantastic. Let's talk about the other thing that ends up with a lot of entrepreneurs. I mean, you've got a lot on your plate trying to run this business, right? And now you're opening a boutique and all this. Sleep and wellness. How do you fit that in? How do you make sure it all works? How do you make sure you get enough rest and relaxation and all the other things?
I wish. Why is sleep such a problem when we get old? I don't get it.
It's awful.
Like babies. I always blame it on my kids. I'm like, I was sleeping like a bear until I got my first kid. And then that kid just wrecked the whole thing. And since then, I don't know, I can't sleep. So yeah, I do probably get my 7 hours sleep in 2 parts. I always wake up at 4 a.m. I don't know why. Chinese people say it's like an organ that is not grieving or something. I don't know. But I use that time, so I try to stay off my phone. It doesn't happen every day, but most of the time I stay off my phone and I try to meditate. And then I get so bored that I fall asleep.
That's a good strategy. Just bore yourself back to sleep.
Exactly.
So
That works.
maybe I need to try that a little bit more. That's probably one of the challenges. Okay. Well, let's talk about kind of looking back now. I know it's only been a few years of doing this, but maybe the look back should be even further back into your career as well. If you could go back in time and do something differently, is there something that jumps out at you? And if so, what is that and why?
Man, that's a great question.
Are you struggling because there's too many things or you can't find the right thing?
No, I just feel like if I change something, I wouldn't be where I am. So
that's always true. Yeah. But knowing what you know now, is there something that you're like, oh, I would have done this better, or I would have done this differently?
So now I have more wisdom and I know my body better than I used to, because now I take time to listen to it. I would say I will get out of a job I didn't like sooner, much sooner, because it wrecks your health so fast when you stay in something that doesn't fit you, even though on paper it fits you, but the reality is it doesn't fit you. So I would get out of it earlier. I wouldn't just stay because it's good on paper, people love you, la la la. It's not worth it. Not worth it.
Yeah. For whatever job it is that you're thinking about that was like that, why is it that you think that you stayed longer than you should have?
Because of the prestige and the power, which is terrible when I think about it.
Yeah.
It's not even me, or maybe it was me at that time. I don't know. It's not even me. I don't care about power. I really don't. I don't want it. Actually, I hate politics and all that. So that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Also why I got out of the whole rabbit hole of 20 years in cosmetic. It's a lot of politics. And I don't think it's just cosmetics. I think it's at this level, in those big companies, there's no other way.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you see that a lot of times in very large organizations, kind of doing those politics things. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are not necessarily good at that, or maybe they're good at it, but they don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm one that doesn't like it. So
yeah, I can be good at it, but it's going to eat me alive. So I don't like it.
I can understand that. Okay. Last question for you, Kat. If you were talking to somebody who's thinking about doing something similar to you and taking that leap and launching a side hustle or turning that side hustle into a full-time business, what advice would you give to them?
Oh my God. I asked that question to so many entrepreneurs before I started, and all of them, 100% of them say, don't do it. And I promised myself I will never do that to someone. And now I'm like, it is a good advice. Oh man. It is a good advice in the sense that it's not for the faint of heart. It's like, you have to know it's going to be hard. You have to know that. And even though you think it's hard for other people and it won't be hard for you, it's going to be hard for you. So I would say the advice is, come see me. I will help. I will help. Whatever I can do, I will help. Actually, I have my employee who works for me, and she wants to do that too. And I'm like, I will help. Just come to me. Don't try alone.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's a alone thing, and it's not fair to be alone. You have to ask people around for help.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is, I think it's a unique thing with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I do this too. Whenever I have employees that I tell them, like, look, if you want to leave, you just let me know. Like, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I will help you. Sure. If you want to go find another job, I'll help you find another job. If you want to start a thing, I will help you start a thing.
Totally.
There are plenty of other people I can find to do whatever job it is that you're doing. And I think when you can find somebody like that, that does want to go off and do their own thing, like,
it's great.
A lot of times they end up becoming partners for you, right? Yeah, like, totally. They'll say good things about you, even if they can't buy from you, or if they can, they will. And it's a good long-term thing. Kat, this has been fantastic. A lot of great advice in this episode. Where can our listeners find and connect with you online?
Oh, they can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, pretty much everywhere. It's at Sundrunk World, because I'm thinking it's going to be much bigger than just Sundrunk. So Sundrunk World on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and then LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for your time and your questions. They were so awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Side Hustle to Small Business podcast powered by Hiscox. To learn more about how Hiscox can help protect your small business through intelligent insurance solutions, visit hiscox.com. That's HISCOX.com. And if you have a story you want to hear on this podcast, please visit hiscox.com/share your story. I'm your host, Sanjay Parikh. You can find out more about me at my website, sanjayparikh.com.